Chapter 12. Within a few weeks, the name of Muthoni was a legend. Stories grew up around her name. Some people said that she had not actually died of the wound, but that she had been poisoned by the missionaries. Indeed, one of the boys had taken her there and had seen this. The elders from Makuyu gathered together, made a few irrelevant remarks, and then looked at one another. They understood. This new faith had contaminated the hills, and Murungu was angry. Listen to the roaring thunder in the sky. Look at the blinding lightning flashing across the earth. They remembered Shege and his words. They ought to have listened to him. The white man should never have set foot in Siriana. A government post was being built on the next ridge to Makuyu, and it was now clear that people have to pay taxes. What would they do? It was now too late to take action. Shege was near to dying. A strange disease of the stomach confined him to his home. Added to this was the strength of these Christians, led by Joshua and Kabonyi. They had almost established Makuyu as their stronghold. Some elders, however, argued that it did not matter. The death of Muthoni had clearly shown that nothing but evil would come out of any association with the new faith. And Shege's son? The elders feared. He had been to Siriana and explained the situation to Livingstone. Livingstone had understood. Now Joshua came with a new message. Circumcision was wholly evil. Thenceforth, nobody would ever be a member of Christ's church if he was so much as found connected in any way with circumcision rites. The fire in Joshua gave new strength and hope to his followers. The white men in Siriana and other places were behind him, and with them all, God. Wayaki did not go back to Siriana. His father was very ill and he could not leave him alone. Wayaki watched his father with fear. Was it his concern of the tribe? Was the old man's dream to which he clung day by day, every hour of his life? Wayaki remembered that day in his childhood. That was the closest he had come to understanding his father. It was as if Shege had laid his soul bare for a second to the young boy. He had never again lain so exposed. It was strange that Wayaki should now recall the events so vividly, especially as it had for a long time been fading in his mind, losing its clear edges. Had the missionaries come to widen the split between Makuyu and Kameno? He saw the two ridges glaring at one another menacingly. Were they going to fight it out between themselves, the missionaries encouraging his followers? What surprised Wayaki were the unprecedented feelings of hatred roused by Muthoni's death. Yet the event by itself looked small. Perhaps it was one of those things in history which, though seemingly small, have far-reaching consequences. Girls had been initiated before, but even the one or two who had died never aroused such ill will between the people. Wayaki saw greater split coming. He knew that the strictness now adopted by Livingstone would alienate even those who had taken to the new ways. Some would not entirely abandon their customs, as now advocated by Joshua. He did not wait long for the split. It came from the most unexpected direction. Kabonyi, the great friend of Joshua, was the first to break away. He was followed by many others. Joshua remained loyal. He gathered the remnants together and they comforted each other like the disciples of old. Wayaki's heart sank with heaviness because of this unrest. Where was his place in all this? He felt a stranger to this land. One day Wayaki was returning home from a distant hill. He had gone there to meet a friend and get a shrub which had been recommended for his father. Shege would never hear of eating the white man's medicine after what happened to Muthoni. It was while he was there that he heard the news. The children of those who defied the laws of the church and continued with their tribal customs would have to leave Siriana, and no child of a pagan would again be allowed into school unless the child was a refugee. Even then, the child would have to renounce circumcision. Wayaki knew that to be the end of him. He had hoped that he would finish his final year, for he loved learning. He came home with a downcast face. He felt unwell and wanted to go to his hut and stay there by himself. When he came home, he found his mother standing outside. She was weeping. Oyaki was surprised and immediately forgot his own thoughts. He had never seen his mother's tears. "What is it, mother?" She burst into fresh sobs. "What is it?" he asked again with fear. Just then he saw a group of elders come out of his father's hut. He threw the shrub away bitterly and ran toward the hut, hoping against hope that he would see him alive, even if for a second. End of chapter 12.